Tonight, Pat Riley and the Heat travel to the familiar hardwood of Madison Square Garden in New York to battle Patrick Ewing and the Knicks. It's an Atlantic Division showdown. The NBA on UPN is next. The Heat is on, live from Madison Square Garden in New York. Tonight, it is an Atlantic Division showdown as the first-place Miami Heat battle the second-place New York Knickerbockers. The first of 4 meetings this season does promise to be most intriguing. The Heat's best-ever November has Miami leading the pack in the Atlantic Division as we begin the month of December. The Heat with a 2-game lead over the Knicks and 2.5 better than the Orlando Magic. So it is a big game Tuesday night here in New York. Great to have you with us. I'm Eric Reed, and as the Heat get ready to battle the New York Knicks, it's NBA basketball in a mirror. And as Pat Riley said yesterday, these two teams are cut from the same cloth.
We're going to play a team that's a facsimile of us. And this is not going to be as much about strategy as it is going to be about energy and what I call big muscle movement, you know. Really is. It's going to be an energy effort game. And the teams that gets the least fast breaks, the least rebounds, the least free throw attempts, and the least turnovers going to win. Going to lose.
Pat Riley, his team always prepared, as is my partner, the Hall of Fame coach, Dr. Jack Ramsey. And Jack, interesting comparison of teams and an interesting contrast of two very similar coaches.
Yes. Well, Jeff Van Gundy, of course, did his apprenticeship under Pat Riley right here in New York with the Knicks. And he embraced Riley's philosophy completely. So the game that he plays is a game that Pat Riley likes to play. Jeff Van Gundy is coaching the Knicks. Pat Riley has his team playing the way he wants it to play. So it's going to be an interesting, intriguing matchup between two very similar teams.
And Jack, two centers of attention that are very familiar with each other. Former Georgetown Hoyas, Patrick Ewing, Alonzo Mourning, their numbers almost identical, and neither one really able to stop the other.
Now, last year, however, Ewing had the better of the matchup, Eric. This time around, I'm sure Zoe is determined to change that status. But neither team likes to double team, Eric, so it'll be individual matchups. In addition to Zoe on Ewing, don't be surprised to see P.J. Brown defend him at some point in the game as well.
As you saw in the Atlantic Division standings, the Knicks off to a 9-5 start. Some have grown restless here in New York, but this is a new group. 7 new players, including 5 key new additions to the Knicks.
Yes, when you look at those additions, Eric, see the minutes played, these guys have to get on the same page at some point. Chris Childs, of course, just getting back into action, and the other guys getting used to one another. Larry Johnson probably needs more shots at the post. Allen Houston needs more shooting opportunities as well. But how do you get that when most of the scoring is going to come from your center, Patrick Ewing, and most of the shots are going to come from there as well? Tough job for Jeff Van Gundy to get everybody on the same page, but it will happen before this season is out.
Well, this should be a terrific game tonight. First of 2 meetings this week between these clubs. The Knicks will be in Miami on Friday night. Now, keep in mind, the Heat have only won once in their history here at Madison Square Garden, but they come in red hot. Hottest team in the East, as a matter of fact. 7 straight wins, 6 in a row on the road. The adrenaline is pumping here in Manhattan. When we come back, Dr. Jack has your keys to the game. We'll tip it off. The Heat and the Knicks next on UPN.
This presentation of Miami Heat basketball is sponsored by Southwest Airlines. Southwest Airlines has fares so low you have the freedom to fly. Southwest Airlines, a symbol of freedom. By AT&T, your true choice. By Toyota's quality line of cars and trucks. Toyota, I love what you do for me. By Taco Bell, there's nothing ordinary about it. And by Jeep and Eagle. Jeep, there's only one. See your Florida Jeep and Eagle dealer.
To get a shot off.
Charlie Ward for 3 over Mourning.
Great defense by Zoe.
Well, the first minute in favor of Miami. 2-zip your score. Zoe fires the jumper over Pat Ewing, and Larry Johnson with a rebound. LJ coming over in the offseason. The trade with Charlotte that sent Anthony Mason and Brad Lohaus to the Hornets. Ewing underneath Oakley by himself. Dan Marley was pushed out of the play.
I didn't see how Marley got so far away.
Steal by Ward on the inbounds. Houston from 15 feet out. Ewing keeps it alive, and Hardaway comes up with it. The Heat dodge a bullet and have a chance to run. Timmy, nice dish for the Zoe stuff.
Nice play, Tim Hardaway, but the Heat cannot afford those turnovers in the backcourt, Eric.
Heat almost lost the game the other night against Boston with 3 turnovers like that, the final 126. Miami surviving a 1-point game Saturday night. Ward missing from three-point land. The Knicks, a cold start. They've missed 5 of their first 6. Thunder Dan from three-point land. P.J. Brown tips it out to Dan Marley.
Larry Johnson had already taken off to the other end.
Danilovic playing his first ever game against the Knicks. He missed all 4 last year with injuries. Zoe comes baseline, and Ewing called for his first foul. And Jack, that is another area of distinction. Shots that are not falling. Charlie Ward on the hustle picks it up. Houston for 3, and the Knicks finally get a three-pointer to go after missing 10 of their first 11 shots.
But the result of a Heat turnover in the backcourt again, Eric. Heat need to avoid those situations as much as possible.
Allen Houston has gotten off to a slow start with the Knicks, averaging just 12 a game. P.J. Brown, longtime member of the Nets, missing. Ewing leaks down court and stuffs it home. Nice feet ahead.
Patrick Ewing never stopped. Once he flew at P.J. Brown, he just kept going. When the shot missed, got him all alone.
Tim Hardaway has his pocket picked by Charlie Ward, racing with Brown. Brown with a defensive stop.
Great hustle, P.J. Brown.
5 straight points by New York. Danilovic finds Dan Marley, and Marley called for steps. So all of a sudden, 4 Heat turnovers, none for the Knicks, and this game has tightened up with 5 straight New York points.
And another Miami turnover, Eric. Turnovers very critical in this game.
And Jack, last 5 games, the Heat with 25 more turnovers than their opponents. That's not a good sign.
It's a great matchup, P.J. against Larry Johnson.
P.J. Brown, the former Net, reaching in on the former Hornet. Ewing underneath for Oakley, and he missed the layup. Got it back and converts. One of the best offensive rebounders over his 12-year NBA career. And the Knicks have now scored 7 unanswered points. Tim Hardaway being pressured hard by Charlie Ward. Double comes at Zoe. Hardaway for 3. Mourning kept it alive, but Allen Houston emerges from the pack. Former Detroit Piston inked a lucrative free agent contract this July, averaging 7 points less than he did as a Piston last year. And LJ throws it away. Into the backcourt, Hardaway tried for the steal, knocked it out of bounds. Not a percentage play because that would have been an over and back against New York, but can't fault Tim Hardaway for trying to turn it into a big play steal.
Now, you like the effort by Hardaway. Even though it would have been an over and back, Eric, Tim Hardaway thought he could get an open court score. Let's take a look at the play. There's the pitch into the backcourt by Larry Johnson. Here comes Hardaway. Yes, it was off his foot. It appears to me that he can just make his own way, and it's a tough deal because these are great defenders in the NBA. Charlie Ward has learned to do a good job against dribblers.
So the Knicks have now poured in 9 straight points. And another turnover on Miami on the traveling.
This has such few shooting opportunities that he's hurrying to get his own off.
Sasha from 3. Yes!
Look out.
3 triples for the Yugos. Sasha Danilovic and the Heat have duplicated their early 10-point lead. Childs got away from Hardaway. Offensive foul. On the penetration. Thunder Dan for a triple. P.J. Brown. Oh my, what a first quarter clinic the Heat are conducting here in New York. And yes, those are boos you hear at Madison Square Garden directed at the Knicks.
Well, we were wondering when the crowd would get in the game, Eric. They're in it, but they're booing their team.
10 straight points for the Heat. Oakley will fire. Knock it down. Charles Oakley. Hard man underneath, but a soft jumper for the Oak. 6 points for him.
The Heat will hold for one now. They have the whole game clock in their favor. Hardaway will try and beat his adversary, Chris Childs. Childs a good defender.
Timmy fires away. Good defense by Chris Childs. Now the Knicks have been out. Allen Houston back to Patrick, who knocks it down. Patrick Ewing, just his second field goal of the game. He has 4 points, 1 rebound. So Miami has led by as much as 15, twice by as many as 10, and we get an offensive foul.
Well, John
Starks coming off the bench. Williams from Starks with a one-hand stuff.
Good penetration and dish by John Starks.
Now Starks and Buck Williams were sparks for the Knicks in their win over Sacramento Saturday, helping to that 41-point fourth quarter. Grant just threw that away. Childs on a full-court rush. Buck Williams, and the Knicks capitalizing on Miami turnovers.
Now, Buck Williams has been a catalyst for this team the last couple of games, Eric. Had 18 points against Sacramento the other night to lead a comeback.
Along with 8 rebounds, his best game of the year. So the Knicks have now responded with 8 straight points, and Marley puts the brakes on. Larry Johnson has 2 points. The Knicks trail the Heat by 8. Gary Grant, Chris Childs playing him very tightly.
John Starks, look at him defend on Marley.
I wonder where he learned that defense from. We know. Oh, Childs reaches in for the steal. Childs off for Starks. And the turnovers really hurting the Heat.
Well, he'd have to get into offense. Gary Grant having trouble with the defense put on him by Chris Childs.
8 first-half turnovers. 8:20 left here in the second quarter. Miami's lead is 6. And Starks steals it from Grant again, who has really struggled. Buck Williams. Else now 10 points off 9 Miami turnovers.
And Pat Riley wants a timeout. He's going to take a 20-second. 9 turnovers, as you say, for the Heat. Only 4 for the Knicks. It's really hurting Miami right now. Gary Grant having all kinds of trouble with Chris Childs. Now John Starks reaches in, knocks that ball loose, and generates an easy score on the fast break. That's Buck Williams on the finish.
And the nobody surprise, Grant goes to the Heat bench. Tim Hardaway, P.J. Brown both return to the lineup. Well, the Knick defense been pesky. Under 8 left, first half. Marley backing Starks to the lane. Thunder 10 putting a one-on-one show on. He's got 9 first-half points.
That's a big one. To work John Starks down to the box and then score off him will help the Heat in their execution.
Larry Johnson goes to work on Marley. That's his first field goal of the game, going inside to get it. So he's got 4 points. And the Heat lead is 4 points.
Larry Johnson has great hands that we just saw. Can finish right at the hoop.
And Childs on Marley.
He can score on him, too. Illegal D.
First warning tonight against the Knicks.
High number for them.
Heat out rebounding the Knicks by 10 and leading by 12. Larry Johnson. Oh, my, what a block by Zoe. Ewing misses. Hardaway rebounds. Oh, Miami's defense. P.J. Brown fouled. The Heat using sturdy defense and attack. LJ. Larry Johnson, 5 of his 6 points here in the second quarter. Miami's lead, 10.
Well, LJ hasn't been able to get anything going at the post, so he took P.J. Brown out to the edges and just shot that little jumper over him.
In the zone, out to Sasha.
Passing. Great passing, Alonzo Mourning, a touch pass. He caught that in the air and passed it before he hit the floor. This is excellent team play by the Miami Heat.
Yak number 5, Sasha Danilovic, 5 of 5 from three-point land. Heat by 13, Childs on the runner. Marley in traffic with a rebound. Childs finds Starks. In the Oakley, powers it up and in, and a foul. In the Eastern Conference, second half underway. Zoe blows by Ewing and then coughed it up. Last touch by Charles Oakley.
Boy, he just went by Patrick Ewing like Patrick was nailed to the floor.
Oh my, he blew by him. Rammed it.
And Jeff Van Gundy wants timeout. Where did he go, Patrick Ewing?
Good morning. A 19-point balloon, the biggest lead so far tonight. 5 on the shot clock. Childs trying to elude Hardaway, cannot.
Well, this is some kind of defense.
Oh my, what
this
defense.
is some kind of defense. The New York Knicks simply could not get a good shooting opportunity in those 24 seconds. Suffocating Miami defense.
Yeah, I know the people in New York, maybe around the country, looked at the standings as today began, saw the Heat at 12-4 atop the Atlantic Division. And maybe people around America, and certainly in New York tonight, taking the Heat a bit more seriously. This club is for real. 6:15 left, third quarter, the Heat by 19. Hardaway steps back, cannot hit it. P.J. Brown tips it out. Tim Hardaway just 1 of 8 from the field. That wasn't the best of shots. Childs off glass, and it sticks. First field goal for the third-year man out of Boise State. He has 4 points, and that basket ended Miami's surge at 12 straight points. Correct.
Tim Hardaway wants to make sure he gets his team in offense now. This will be a tougher defensive unit than the Knicks have had on the floor.
8 on the shot clock. So, hand-to-hand combat with Buck Williams, and Mourning drew the foul as Charles Oakley came over from the backside on the baseline to help. Oakley called for his third foul.
Zoe staying on the floor. I think he's hurt, Eric.
He's unhappy.
Yes, he is.
In the Zoe it goes, held by Buck Williams on the catch. So let's see how much trouble the Knicks get into trying to defend Mourning with a smaller group. Emotions, intensity, competitive temperature, all rising here in New York.
And Dan Marley and P.J. Brown saying to Zoe, keep cool, big guy.
That was the 4th team foul on the Knicks, so the Heat 1 away from being in the bonus. And now they say, yes, it is the 5th team foul. So the Heat are in the bonus for the final 5:18 of this third quarter. Miami with just 3 team fouls.
Now they want to make sure the Heat does, Eric, to take it to the basket, either get it inside.
To D, coming up big in the Big Apple. 4:45 left, third quarter. Hardaway out to Sasha, triple in the air.
Look out!
7 of 7 from three-point land for Danilovic.
Oh, that's great position, Sasha.
Do you believe this?
Oh, my.
John Starks for the offensive foul. Danilovic painting a masterpiece in Manhattan on both ends of the court.
Eric, I've heard that the Heat is as oppressive in Miami. This defense is one of the most oppressive things I've seen in a long time.
They can't handle the Heat in New York. 21-point lead. Mourning on the turn. Trickles off, and Zoe just continues to have tough luck. So many of his shots have rolled around the iron and then rolled off. Mourning tonight 2 of 12 from the field. And foul was on P.J. Brown, a loose ball foul, but P.J. hustling. He's got 10 rebounds. He also has 3 fouls now. 4:05 left, third quarter. Heat by 21. And Ewing on the bench. Buck Williams fouled by Mourning. Makes the play.
It was illegal.
Marley open, a 3 in the air. Book it. Oh, the threes flowing like water for Miami. 11 triples in the game for the Heat. 2 for Thunder Dan. Starks got the scoop.
Great drive, John Starks, in heavy traffic. I was about to say, Eric, every time the Knicks drop off the perimeter shooters, the Heat make them pay for the move.
Dan Marley, 17 points in this game, 6 of 10 from the field. Heat lead by 19. Out to P.J. Brown.
Yes, P.J.
P.J. Brown, a double-double, 11 points, 10 rebounds for P.J., who felt like he was back at home. Of course, he played for the Nets several games here at the Garden in New York against the Knicks. As Childs knocks down a jumper. He has 4 in the quarter and 6 points on the night. And now the Heat will take a timeout.
Marley goes for the steal, doesn't get it. He's got Allen Houston off the dribble, jumper, good.
That's what he does. I really think to get Allen Houston off, he's going to have to get some more ISO plays. The problem is you got to get Patrick the ball in the post.
Straight on the road. You may hear the boos in the background. An emphatic statement made by Miami. The Road Warriors came in feeling good about themselves, and they walk off feeling even better.
Do you think that man's happy? Pat Riley is just bubbling over inside.
The first place Heat not only beat the Knicks, they routed the Knicks in New York's house. 99-75 your final. We'll have some happy Heat voices when we come back on our Marley. Blocked by Ewing. Ward lost it, and there will be no final shot of the first quarter. So Ewing's block ends the period dominated by Tim Hardaway. What a first quarter he had. Oakley claims the rebound and hits ahead to John Starks. The Knicks down 9. Splash. John Starks knocking down a 3. Of course, he is terrific from three-point land. For his career, 739 three-pointers. And Oakley flips it in on the offensive board and is fouled. This more resembling the vintage Charles Oakley effort, already with 5 rebounds. That was his first score.
Now you're going to see good penetration here.
John Wallace out of Syracuse, whirling on Askins and hitting. He is a very talented offensive player.
Now, he's an athletic guy, Eric, who has a complete game if he ever gets it together.
Lead is 3 for the Heat. Double on Zoe. Doesn't see Grant in this corner. Now he finds him. Austin takes the lane and is fouled.
Nice team play.
That took Grant a while to find. Austin clutched over in pain in the backcourt, and Ewing takes advantage. Just over 4 minutes left in the half. The Knicks trail the Heat by 5. LJ for 3. Got it. His first basket of the game. So Grandmama pulls the Knicks within 2. Miami has led by as much as 11. The Knicks yet to lead in this game. Lob for Brown. Stolen by Johnson. Marley knocks it free, and Brown recovers and scores. Comes baseline, backs up, hits the bucket, and it will count.
Open man.
He knifes through the D, collapses in on him, and he finds open teammates on the edges. Ewing leans in, got the bucket and a foul, and Patrick Ewing has gone to work.
Houston.
Woof. Oh, textbook delivery from Allen Houston. Houston now has 9. The Knicks go back in front. Although they haven't put it on the board yet, I don't believe. Sasha's pass through the arms of P.J. Brown. 5 points. So, on the turn, Ewing with a strip, and Oakley saved it in. Childs. LJ. Oh, terrific offensive work by Larry Johnson here in the third quarter. He was the invisible man in the first half. But here in the third, he's already scored 9. And John Starks, he'll fire a deep one and drill his triple. John Starks banging his chest. Yes, the hearts are thumping here in Miami. It's been a terrific game. He'd have led by as much as 11. 3 has been New York's largest lead. Starks tonight with 10 points. Hardaway getting through. Sasha for 3 again. Yes. Patrick Ewing guarded by Mourning. Mourning has 7 points, 13 rebounds. Ewing 12 points. And make it 14. Ewing floating into the lane.
Yeah, soft shot by Patrick.
An NBA war here in Miami tonight. tonight, as you might have anticipated after the Heat blew out the Knicks by 24 Tuesday. Heat have won 9 straight. They're 14-4 on the year. They lead the Atlantic Division over the Knicks by 3. Hardaway, a triple. Morning kept it alive, but right down to Charlie Ward. Ward for Houston. Caught the Heat napping in transition. Allen Houston. He now has 11. And the Knicks with their largest lead of the game at 4. 3 minutes left here in the third. Oakley stays on Zoe. Ike Austin spots up. Marley with a long rebound. Hardaway left open. Now it's Thunder Dan. He'll fire from 3.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him defend Zoe. He's a very good post defender.
A buck is in. Ewing sits. Allen Houston pulls up. Book it. Allen Houston showing you what he's all about. Deadly mid-range shooter, has 13 points tonight. He had 14 when these clubs met on Tuesday. It's a much tighter game and probably more indicative of how these teams match up against one another. Zoe doubled, tied up, forcing it up, rejected by Buck Williams in the help mode. And the Knick bench on their feet. Starks unloads a triple and connects. John Starks also draws the foul. And the Knicks, a very spirited group at the moment.
Well, Eric, you knew coming into this game you were going to get their high level of intensity, and they're showing it very much right now. Starks, the shot. He got the hit, and he's at the line with an opportunity for an unusual 4-point play.
Isaac Austin with a foul. This really a personality test for the Knicks. With their record of 10-6, they're 4-4 at home. Pat Riley's second year with New York, they lost 4 games all season at home. John Starks, he had 7 in the first half. He has 7 here in the third quarter. And the Knicks by 5, their biggest lead tonight. Hardaway throws it out of bounds. And the turnovers are mounting. 14 for Miami and 6 for Tim Hardaway, who has averaged about 5 turnovers a game in his last 6. His assist turnover ratio, once 8-1 this year, is now down to a much more human 3-1.
Yeah, he's leading his receivers just a little too much. Starks.
Houston missed it because Mourning bothered him, and then Mourning able to get off his feet again.
What a great play, Alonzo Mourning.
Mourning now with 16 rebounds. Hardaway lost it. Marley recovers. Heater down 5. Final 30 seconds of the third quarter. The Knicks' best period so far tonight. Zoe turns, hooks, doesn't hit. And out of bounds, off Alonzo. And that Knick bench on their feet again.
Well, the Knicks are hustling, Eric. You're dead wrong if you assume anything different from them.
Allen Houston on the pull-up. Oakley kept it alive. And that shot counts.
Whoa.
Allen Houston delivering. The New York Knicks coming together in the third quarter, and they will take their largest lead of the night into the fourth.
Everybody goes through a little pain and suffering if you're connected with professional sports.
Next minute, fourth quarter.
Doing a great defensive job on the Heat.
Timmy's triple bounds off to John Starks. On the night, Miami just 6 of 20 from three-point land. Starks got fouled, also got the bucket. And this is the best we have seen of the New York Knicks this year.
I think it's by far the best game the Knicks have played, Eric. If I can believe the people who see them with regularity, this kind of intensity and consistency has been lacking from the Knicks all season.
Alonzo Mourning from behind committed that foul, his 4th. There's Pat Riley stuck with John Starks through good times and bad.
John Starks, in my mind, has always been a plus for his team. He's a competitive guy. He works hard at the defensive end always. A little erratic as a shooter, but don't question his heart ever. Ball is passed from out of bounds. It's a two-shot foul.
The Knicks are shooting better from the field tonight than the Heat. 45%, Miami at 43%. The Heat have made 14 of 21 at the foul line. New York is 13 of 20.
You know, Eric, there are some New York fans who have started to come out of the woodwork. They were very quiet early on, but they were applauding Zoe's miss. And jeering a little bit. They could only be from New York.
You know some fans with you winter time.
Yes.
10:35 left, fourth quarter, and right in front of us, Alonzo Mourning hit with his fifth foul. This thing has really turned against Miami. Moving in a New York direction with the Knicks leading by 11, 10-30, clearing the board.
Vicious rebound by Ike.
And look out. Somebody's been thrown out of the game. LJ really throwing some bad words around besides some elbows. And he has lost his cool. I think he's been tossed.
Well, he had the technical earlier, Eric. A double technical on Zoe and Larry Johnson earlier. Let's see if they call a T or just maybe a flagrant foul. I'm not sure what the ruling is, but we'll soon discover.
Say goodnight, Larry. Larry Johnson has been ejected with his second technical foul. He leaves with 13 points and 4 rebounds. Good night, Larry. Oh, that's not nice. Somebody just threw something out of the stands, and you hate to see that. Stop Larry Johnson right in his tracks. And do not do something foolish like that if you attend an NBA game or any event. Now both clubs coming to their huddle. You talk about playoff caliber basketball and playoff-like intensity. Thought we'd get it. We got it.
Well, let's take a look. We can discover what precipitated the action there. There's Ike Austin. And the players start up the floor. The action occurred at the other end. Tim Hardaway trying to keep Larry Johnson under control, but the deed had already been done at that point.
If I heard right, they have called a flagrant foul on Larry Johnson as well. Larry didn't do his ball club or his new head coach Jeff Van Gundy any favors on his exit. Keith Askins will go to the foul line. John Starks guarded by Danilovic. Lob for Ewing, goes up, got the bucket and the foul. Patrick Ewing on a pretty feed in deep, able to connect. He'll go to the line to shoot one.
And that's good execution by the Knicks in general, but Ewing in particular. Ewing set a high screen and then slipped to the basket before either Ike Austin or P.J. Brown could get to him. Patrick completes the three-point play.
P.J. Brown picking up his fifth foul. So Ewing now has 18 points. He gives the Knicks a 7-point cushion with 6 minutes left. Hardaway trying to slip by Childs. Does. Off glass. Ewing slaps it into his own hands. 6 rebounds for Patrick. And right now the Knicks trying to take control down the stretch. Running through their half-court offense. Offensive foul. Buck Williams on the baseline setting an illegal screen. Miami down 5.
This is where the grunt work takes place. You got to get stops.
Houston flips it out. Childs throws up a triple and hits.
That's big.
Huge shot for Chris Childs. He has 3 3-pointers in this game. 11 points. That one puts New York ahead by 8. Danilovic running at Childs, but Chris knocking it down. Under 5 minutes left. Sasha off to PJ. And the Heat a little bit directionless on the offensive end. Austin, hard move. Ewing got the block. And the Knicks in pretty good shape right now. Williams back out to Starks. Childs for the runner. 5 big points in a row for Chris Childs. He gets the embrace from John Starks as the Knicks bench comes off to congratulate their guard tandem. They're up 10 with 4:37 left. 28 for Tim. 8-point lead for the Knicks. We are in crunch time.
Knicks are trying to go right to Ewing, being defended by Alonzo Mourning.
The Heat finally have their starting group back on the floor. John Starks, he's had it going tonight. 18 off the Knicks bench, looking for 3 more. Ewing on the putback, and Alonzo Mourning fouls out of the game on that play. Patrick Ewing, they booed him at Madison Square Garden the other night, I felt unfairly. Tonight, making huge amends, having a very strong game.
Eric, he's come up with a monster game. Watch Patrick Ewing, because when Starks takes this shot, I thought they would go right to Ewing, but watch Ewing get position, out-battle, out-maneuver Alonzo, and get the score, get the foul on Zoe, and get a chance for the foul as well.
Not a good night offensively for Mourning. Just 3 of 10 from the field. He did finish with 16 rebounds. But Ewing with a crucial 3-point play. He now has 22, and the Knicks lead by 11. We're under 4 minutes left, so it's going to have to take something very special now for Miami. And inside, as Marley and Childs battled for
8 seconds on the shot clock here. See if the Heat can shut them down in that 8-second time. He's going to rise. That's the ball game, maybe.
That's a big blow. Allen Houston. 19 points for Houston. His second triple of the game might be the backbreaker. 13-point Knick lead. And the Heat in a desperate mode now. Danilovic over Ewing. Brown on the tip. Houston with a rebound. So Allen Houston has answered the call tonight for New York. 19 points on 8 of 17. Ewing leads New York with 22. John Starks has 18. Tim Hardaway, top scorer in the game with 28. Ewing was fouled. P.J. Brown will join Mourning on the bench, fouling out. You know, it's funny. The Heat front court severely outplayed the Knick front court trio just a couple of nights ago in New York. Tonight, the Knick front court trio has turned the tables on them.
Eric, it's so hard when teams play back-to-back for the team that wins the first game to sustain their edge to win the second one as well. These are 2 very good basketball teams. The Knicks have struggled early on, but in the second half, they're going to be a very good team. The Heat has found its level early on in this season and will be a very good basketball team throughout. You see the looks of Mourning and P.J. Brown, very dejected, as you would expect.
Mourning fouling out for the 4th time. 2nd time P.J. Brown sits with fouls. Patrick Ewing answering some of his harsh critics in New York. A 24-point, 7-rebound night for Patrick. Marley, a 3 in the air, and around the...
In that category, as well as the other.
That's a resounding finish for Patrick Ewing, and sort of icing on the cake for the Knicks tonight. Ewing now with 26 points, 12 of them here in the 4th quarter, where the Knicks are icing it away. And it's a very, very important game for the Knicks. They will even the season series at 1 and let everybody know that this will be at least a 2-team race in the Atlantic. And here is your Miller Lite slam dunk of the night.
Well, there's a penetration by Chris Childs, and when the defense comes, the dish to Ewing and the slammer by Patrick.
Patrick Ewing, a proud man, great competitor. What a warrior through 12 NBA seasons. He has simply carried the Knicks for over a decade. The Knicks 100, the Heat 83. Childs finds Starks. His triple, overshot it. He's These clubs will meet again in New York, Super Bowl Sunday, January the 26th, back here on April the 12th, in a game that might be very significant. Ilovich erased by Ewing, but on the year from three-point land. The Knicks have shot their threes very well tonight, 9 of 18.
The Knicks have played a very sound game here, Eric. Have to give them their due.
Yes, they definitely earned this victory. Played better tonight than Miami. And that's what you got to do to win on the road. And the Heat will be challenged on their three-game trip. John Starks. Well, sweet times for the Knicks right now. Anytime you win on the opposition court, you're going to take great pride in that, especially when that opposition embarrassed you in front of your home crowd.
Huge psychological win for New York. And the Heat will have to regroup and recover, which I'm sure they'll do.
And not to look past any game. Certainly, one would never look past a date with the world champion Bulls. But that game Tuesday night in Cleveland, Wednesday night in Philadelphia, well, those are big, big games.
Indeed they are, Eric. The NBA schedule is full of pitfalls and challenges. The Heat are meeting a couple of them in these next few days.
So it winds down the season series even at 1. We will await the next matchup between these two bitter rivals in the Atlantic, January 26th in New York. So the Knicks, they got 26 from Ewing. He led the way. Allen Houston and John Starks, perimeter weapons that came through for the Knicks tonight.
4 games ago, Ewing said the Garden faithful quick to boo the